Welcome to level 2 of Simplifying Rationals homework. We have now upped our game and we are doing only the denominator that has a monomial. We can see here in our numerator that we have added a subtraction sign, so now we have a binomial. We have two terms. We have one term here, subtracting another term there. All right, so level 2 can be done in two different ways. Two different methods have you. The first method that you are more familiar with would be where you separate it into two separate fractions. So I would have 35m squared over 20m minus 30m over 20m. And then you would reduce each one of those fractions by themselves. You could even change it to addition and make that one negative to change the signs at the opposite. And you could simplify both of those like we did in level 1. However, I would like to propose to you a next method that will be more like what the other methods will lead you to. So the first thing that we want to do, once I know that I'm not dealing with a monomial, the binomial, I want to factor out a GCF as much as possible. Whether that binomial, trinomial, polynomial is in the numerator or the denominator, I just want to always factor as much as possible. My numerator here, I can tell that I have a 5m as my GCF. So if I pull that 5m out, I would be left with 7m minus 6, all divided by 20m. Now, kind of thinking about back on level 1, because these two things are multiplying by each other right there, I can still reduce them like I was doing in level 1. My coefficients here, I can reduce. So 5 goes into 20, not 2, 20, 4 times, and 5 goes into itself once. So I would have a coefficient of 1 in my numerator and 4 in my denominator. You do not need to write the 1 in your numerator. We can for argument's sake here. So 1/4. And then I have an m here and an m here that I can cancel out. So those would simply divide completely out. You would not need to rewrite anything because it would be m divided by m would just be a 1, m, and a 1 there. Ones we don't need to write, they are implied. So now we still have this factor, because remember factors are in parentheses, typically. 7m minus 6, so that is still in my numerator. I do not have a 7m minus 6 in my denominator, so I can't simplify that out. So as of now, everything is as reduced as it can be, so we can kind of clean this up and make it look a little bit nicer. 7m minus 6 divided by 4. Now you can still go back to the same method as before, method 1, as we kind of said, and you could rewrite it a 7m over 4 minus 2/3 if you would like. It is equivalent. However, the additional step is not necessary in this case. It would be completely acceptable to leave it as the 7m minus 6 over 4. You do always want to check and make sure that all your numbers don't have a GCF. Say if this were an 8, the 7 were an 8, and I could divide all 3 of those numbers by 2. So that would be a 4, 3, and a 2, kind of like you simplify with the quadratic formula. Just be wary of that. Obviously, that's not our solution here because 7 was not 8, but your final solution is here.